All right, everybody. Welcome back to Take a Warrior Fishing Inc. This is podcast number 2. We are excited. And hey, this is Ken Wells. I'm your director of Warrior Services and Relations, or Relations and Services. It doesn't matter, like what Dwayne says. It's just a title. But the name, I want you guys to know who I am. And of course, with every podcast, we have Dwayne, our president and founder. And we have very special guests today from Lazy Baits Company. And Dwayne, how are you doing this evening?
Good. And before I get to talking, it's been bugging me since the last time we did our podcast because I don't know if I mentioned 2 people that I should have mentioned. And if I didn't, terrible. But if I did, I'm going to mention them again anyway. And those 2 people, when I was thinking everybody last podcast, was Mr. Rick Naylor, our barbecue man, that donates all of his time to cook our barbecue, and then Don Talecki, who has been with me since the very beginning. So I want to throw those out just in case I didn't mention those guys. They're awesome. So thank you, Don and Rick. To answer your question, I'm doing good. Glad to be here. I'm excited about the special guest tonight. They're going to learn a lot of good things about him. It's actually the first time that I've been able to talk to him and see his face to face. So he's done a lot for us. I don't want to give it away, let him talk about it more, but I'm excited about tonight. Pretty cool.
Awesome. So uh, before we go ahead and do our introduction of our guests for this evening, I'm going to talk real quick about some of the feedback that we got from our last podcast. Well, it was our first podcast. We make it sound like we've been around forever. And so far,
Yeah.
I know the numbers are small, but hey, I mean, you got to start somewhere. Right now, we have 22 subscribers. So thank you to those 22. We're hoping for many, many more because it's important to get this information out. And we have a total of 64 views, which meant 32 hours of viewing time. And that's pretty awesome. But some of the cool comments that we had our viewers commented on the podcast was great first podcast. And the funny part, this is kind of funny, is good bad fish joke. I don't know if that's proper English, but it was a good bet. And I hope you're ready, Dwayne, because it's your turn this evening to do a bad fish joke.
Yeah, I'm
So,
great. So I do want to say, I want to let for everybody that don't know, I don't know how much we went into it last week, but the reason we're doing this, and this was Ken's idea, this is Ken's baby, Ken's running with it. He approached me about it before he even came on board. But the reason he wanted to do it is not to see our pretty faces because, we really got radio faces. We don't have podcast faces. The reason we're
you know,
doing this is to help get the word out of Take a Warrior Fishing Inc. to more warriors, more boaters, and yeah, if we can get sponsors, donations, great. But it's really to make the connection with the warriors. So that's why we're doing this. We want to take the warriors fishing because if you look on the back of our shirt, these jerseys that we're wearing on the back, every one of them they say Fishing Hills. So that's why we're doing this. Ken's retired Army. I'm Coast Guard. We're not doing this to get our names out whatsoever. You just need to know our name so we can help you get fishing. We're doing this to make more connections out in the world, out in the state, out wherever we can to get that connection with the Warriors. I just want to throw that out there because we didn't really jump into that last weekend, and I can't thank you enough for getting this thing going because it's a great idea. Yeah, 22, 64, whatever. You got to start somewhere, so we'll keep going.
that's right. Everybody, it is time to announce our special guest for this evening, Anthony. Dwayne, I'm excited. When you sent me this individual's contact information, um, and the other part of it that his wife Tiffany's pregnant, I was like, oh my! And then we had a certain time frame to get these folks on board before she delivers baby Anthony. So yeah, I reached out to Anthony. Anthony contacted me. So, ladies and gentlemen, It is an honor to welcome Anthony and Tiffany Antler of Lazy Baits Company. Thank you for being on Take a Warrior Fishing Inc. podcast. It's as a also a sponsor to this amazing organization. So we thank you for that. Real quick, Anthony is an avid angler. I looked at all of his. There's so much, and I want Anthony and Tiffany to talk about it. There's so much on their webpage. I was blown away, and it's not just baits that they make. I mean, there's so much other. But hey, we're going to talk to them. So everybody, let's give a nice round of applause and welcome to Anthony and Tiffany Antler.
Hello. Hey, Ken.
And how y'all doing? How y'all doing tonight?
Good, good.
Good.
I know we talked earlier, but I know you're ready to have that baby come out.
She was ready today. We had an ultrasound, and she's like, "Man, I hope they send me right to labor and delivery."
That's right.
So when you got, how much longer you got?
Hopefully just another week. So
Okay.
they're talking about inducing me around 39 weeks, which would be towards the end of next week. So
Is this number one?
Valentine's Day.
Oh wow,
Is this
that's right.
number one?
Yes,
Yes.
number one.
Maybe one. Cool. Hey, before they get into some stuff, Ken, if you don't mind, I'd like to say something. So Anthony, I can't. I've told you in text, I've told you on Instagram, but I can't thank you enough for what you've done for us from the very beginning. You're a small company, and you have. I can't say I can go back and tell you, but I don't know off the top of my head how much money you've given us through fundraisers, the baits you provided us, stickers you provided us, the Instagram posts that you put us in, the videos you put out there for the followers that help us get. Can't thank you enough. And when Ken was talking about needing to get guests, you were the one of the top ones that I asked him to get to. As you can see, you're our first guest ever. So can't thank you enough for what you've done for us. When I say us, I'm talking about Take a Warrior Fishing Inc. because everything you do goes back to our warriors. So I'm speaking for them when I say thank you. I know they're excited when we get the base that you send us. I'm excited when you send us. I'm not saying anything you do for us, but the sponsorships that you do for us, you don't have to do that stuff. So thank you for what you do for us. It means a lot to have people out in the world like you to help us do what we're doing. So thank you.
You're welcome. I love it. I'm honored to be able to.
yeah.
Well, we
Thanks.
definitely thank you. Well, tell us about Lazy Baits Company. Tell us about everything.
So, Lazy Baits Company is right around the corner there in my basement.
Okay.
Me and my wife, we started making baits. She was doing soft plastics, and this year she couldn't do it anymore. So it's just been me chugging away, trying to make some new hard baits, coming up with new designs. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't he can't do soft plastics.
I can't at all. I don't know.
So you do. So Tiffany does the soft plastics for you.
Yeah, all the ones from last year she made. Because if I try,
Cool.
I'm terrible.
Yeah, he burns the plastisol, the base
Oh wow.
smoke. He's
He's got all the
not-
skills
he's
there.
not allowed to touch my plastisol.
That's
So,
awesome.
I gotta ask. Hey, Anthony, the fish aquarium beside of you, is that the one that was in the video recently where I asked if you got any bites?
No, this is a snake.
Oh, oh, it is. Oh,
frogs.
yeah, you don't want to get bites from that one then.
There's frogs. There's 4 spiders over here.
Oh, wow.
All down this wall is reptiles. Can you see
Whatever, man.
dogs? We have 6. It's basically a zoo
Nice.
here.
Nice.
7 fish tanks.
Yep.
Wow. So how long you been doing this? The bait?
Like 2, 3 years.
Yeah.
I'd say like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Before this, I was doing woodworking, and I didn't love it. Like it started feeling a lot like work, and
Yeah.
it was too stressful. It felt like
So
work.
what
I just didn't like it.
so what got you into what possessed you to create a bait company?
I always just like making something. So from the woodworking, I had a ton of wood in my garage, and I made this really terrible swim bait. A two-piece awful bait. I wish I had a picture of it. It was the worst thing ever. And I went to our lake and I caught 2 fish on it. And I was like, this is awesome. So then I started making some more wooden ones. I made a nice big like bluegill glide bait. Went to the lake. I tossed it. First cast, snapped off, went directly into the middle of the lake. She was with me. She said the look on my face was like, just I was over. I was done. I'm like, well, I just walked back to the truck after that. But yeah, so it just, I like creating things, and it was awesome to be able to make something and then go in and catch a fish on it.
Nice.
You also always
So,
he always has to be doing something too. Like
okay.
he's not an idle person. And he just always has to be active and doing something. So when he's not fishing, now it's the fishing lures.
And it drives her nuts, I'm sure. 90% of the time.
No.
No.
No. I created the monster.
She did. She got me into fishing.
That's cool. I mean,
it is.
it's good to have a partner that supports you,
Yep.
I mean, I think that's really important because, when you're feeling low or down about something and you have that person to your right, that's that motivator, that's person that's giving you that, hey, you can do this. That's kind of a cool person to have in your corner.
Yeah. She's my biggest supporter. And she'll reel me in sometimes and say, you're taking it too far. Reeling it a little, I get obsessed. I will just spend all day obsessing over something, weeks, and she's like, you need to stop. It's driving you nuts. And that's her nuts too, I'm sure. So I couldn't ask for a better person in my corner.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That is so awesome. So, next question I have for you is like, what is your best mold or your best lure, or even better, if you have a secret one right now that you're making that you
Oh,
haven't released yet?
I kind of want to go grab it.
Go get it.
I'll show you. Wait, I'll show you. This is one of my favorites. I don't know if you can see it. This is a rat wake bait that I met another bait maker on Instagram, Trevor from Peak Baits, and we became good friends. He's actually a tattoo artist. He ended up tattooing my arm. He lives in Connecticut. He drove all the way out here. But yeah, me and him worked on that together, and that was awesome. That's definitely one of my favorites. And the night that we released it, I caught a 7-pound bass on it, and I was like, it doesn't get any better.
Oh, wow.
Let me go grab the other one. Hang on. Yeah.
So, Tiffany, you're out of the bait business right now, right? The bait making business right now, right?
Yeah, I figured it wasn't a good idea to breathe in melted plastic while I was pregnant.
Probably a good
Good
idea.
point.
Yeah, good idea.
I just went to work real quick, right around the corner. So this is a lipless crankbait that I made last year. It's like, just a standard little one. And this is going to be its big brother,
Oh, cool.
a 5-inch
Nice.
full resin.
So how long is it? So the small one, how long does it take you to make a lure?
So to pour it, it probably takes I got to bend the wire, add the weights. I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes without paint. Same thing with the big one.
How long
Wow.
does it take to paint? How long does it take to paint?
15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe. It depends.
So you can make one of those in 25 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, start to finish. I try to do
Wow.
a batch of them. Though I'll make like 10 or 20. That way, I'm not cleaning up my paint or cleaning up my resin. Not like I clean it up every time anyway. It's always, I sent you the picture when I was working on
Yeah.
those other
Wow.
ones.
So you can actually say your lures are handcrafted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, not like these big companies where they, go through this like conveyor belt process. You're actually handcrafting this in the basement of your home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't get any more American than that.
Yeah,
The
that's
mold
cool.
for it and everything. I should have
That
grabbed
is
the mold
really.
while I was over there. But
So are you
So
working
Anthony,
on like are you working on like a secret word that you just haven't talked about yet because you're still in the process of like trial and error?
so I have something planned after this because
Okay.
all right, so when I started, I was doing wood, and then I found out you can buy like blank lures, just unpainted blanks. And I spent a lot of time making those, and like the donations that I did were all unpainted blanks. I bought them and then painted them, cleared them, whatever. Um, and then I'm trying to transition to only my designs. So all resin and start to finish. I did all the CAD work, designing it, designing the molds. Um, so this year I'll probably only have our resin baits. But the one I want to do after I get this tuned, which I can't do anything because our lakes are frozen. I don't know if you guys saw the post on our Instagram where I inflated a kiddie pool in the basement.
Yeah, I
That was
saw that.
yeah,
that was for this.
yeah.
This was the only bait I used it on, just because I needed to get it in the water and see how it's going to swim.
That's
Um,
right.
if I make 10 of them and I add 9 grams of lead and it's just not enough, then it's a waste. Um, the
So
next,
with, so with that lure right there, you test it and it's not swimming. Can you fix that lure or is it done?
so like this would be a prototype. Say it doesn't have enough lead. What I would do is just drill holes and put some lead in it until I get it where I want. And then
Okay.
the second one I make, I would add that lead internally, see how
Okay.
it swims. So sometimes it takes 3, 4. This one took me 6 months.
Oh wow.
The bane of my existence. This little glide bait took me 6 months just because it's so small. You would think, a small bait is going to be easy. It's not. You have no leeway. If there's half a gram too much, it's going to sink too fast. Half a gram too little, it's not going to go under. Um, but to Ken's question, what I have that nobody really knows about, I want to do like a 9-inch trout glide bait, which I have a design for, but I just haven't gotten to the point of making the molds because it's going to be a lot of work testing that. And
Okay.
I'm
Well,
trying to
let me.
finish up the projects I have
That's
because
right. Yeah.
I know pretty soon I'm not going to have any time for that.
Your
Yeah.
life
Not
got
only that,
changed.
but you don't want to have too much, going on, and then you're like, oh, it just keeps piling up on you.
Exactly. Yep.
So let me ask you a question. Your blogs, could you kind of go over your blog so that our viewers can be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go check out Lazy Baits, and check out this awesome website. You guys sell merch. I looked at some of your merchandise y'all sell. I was impressed. I was like, professional website. It's got great flow. And then I hit your blog section. I was like, and I love blogs. I think that's awesome because it's a story. You're keeping people, informed, and you're not just informing them, but they're coming back. They want to know, okay, what's next? Could you kind of
Mhm.
tell us about why you started the blogs and put them on your website?
So the blogs, here's the funny thing. I'm big into technology and I was messing around with AI. So I actually use AI and I just tell it, like, I want to portray this message. I can't write. Was never good with English. Like I can hardly form a sentence, I feel like. But I put in, what I want from my mind portrayed, and then it'll generate an article. So it was a cool way for me during the winter to put out some information that I think is useful. some tips for winter fishing. Um, there's a book about the science of I can't remember the name, but there's a book that's like impossible to get, and it's like the science of bass or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, let me see what it will put together for that. And those are how the blogs are written. So if you think I write them, not really. I don't form the sentences. I put the ideas in, and the blog is written. Uh,
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's an awesome tool, and it it's kind of where you know things are going. If you don't lean on technology, you're kind of like you know it's hard to get things done and be competitive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I love technology. I mean, I taught technology, computer technology at an elementary school after retirement. And well, here I am. That tells you how far that went. But I love technology, and I love the students. I really did. I just, it's either it's something you want to do or it's something you don't want to do. And obviously what you're doing is something that you want to do. And it
Yeah,
shows and like I was telling Dwayne with how his passion is for take a warrior fishing, it's very clear when you see him, when you talk to him, his mannerisms and everything. And then you meet all the volunteers and the directors and the board of directors and everybody that puts forth the time in order to make this work. So my question, of course, I'm leading that into this question, and that is why support an organization such as Take a Warrior Fishing, and why do 5% to take a warrior fishing from all your sales? What was what's your what's the purpose behind that?
so when I started this, it's not for money. Like I have hardly, I don't think I've made any money yet. Um, seriously, in years, I don't think I've made money.
Right.
I reinvest what I make back into it. But right from the start, I um, I said to my wife, like, I want to support some type of charity. Both of us are in recovery. Uh, I just got 8 years the other day. What are you, 11?
I'll be 13, 13
13?
years in July.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
thank
That's
you.
good. Thank you.
So I reached out to a charity for that. Like, I can't remember the name of it, but they help incorporate recovery and fishing. And I didn't get a response, like nothing. And it kind of like it hurt. I was like, I'm trying to offer the little bit that I can offer, but in hopes like one day we're going to grow and be able to support a lot. And I think Dwayne reached out to us on Instagram, and I said to her, I was like, what do you think about this? And she was like, absolutely. Like, that's perfect. Her dad's a veteran. I have family in the military. And I just love what you guys do. I think it's awesome that it's not a charity where you don't see the end result, Like last year, I got to take two veterans fishing with me. It's awesome. You see all around, the country, you guys are connecting people and they're getting to spend a day together out on the water fishing. And I don't think there's better therapy than that. So I really like that you can see the results of like your guys' hard work. So it was kind of a no-brainer for both of us.
Ken, I want to add too. Anthony just mentioned. I forgot to mention in the beginning. Not only is he making baits and his wife's making baits, and they donate them and do whatever they are doing, but supporting us. Anthony's also one of our boaters. Like I say, he's taken two warriors fishing to what was that park? Beltsville. Is that right? Yeah, Beltsville Park. And he told me just like he just did there how much of a he enjoyed it, not just the warrior, but himself being able to give
Right.
back to the military. So just shows that the type of people they are. Not only are they sending us sponsorship money when they do donations, not only are they sending us baits, they're also taking warriors fishing on their own boat. So you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
I think I enjoyed it more than than the guys I took out, honestly. And when I left, you know, you pull in the parking lot, get your boat ready. You know, we already said our goodbyes. I asked if I needed help. I'm like, no, I got it. Um, and it just like starts hitting you like they are they were so grateful to be able to just get out and fish for the day, and like they're strangers to me before that. And now like I talk to them every couple months, see how things are going, and it was just like, I don't know. It was probably more therapy to me than them.
That's right. And that's what's cool about taking a warrior fishing is it's also like what you mentioned. You still stay in contact with your warriors that you brought out there,
Mhm.
and it's creating that connection that take a warrior fishing creates.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. Well, I have no further questions for you for this evening. Dwayne, do you have anything for Lazy
Yeah,
Baits
I
Company?
do. I got one more, and then actually just what you just said. So, how'd you come up with the name Lazy Bait?
It's
Oh,
funny.
good.
So this is how my mind works. Um, Most people would think being lazy is like uh, a bad trait, but for me, I think like if you're lazy, you try to get things done efficiently because you don't want to be sitting there doing something that doesn't make sense, you know? So it's about efficiency and putting out something good. Weird logic. I don't know.
That's cool. Now, I was just interesting. I've never asked you what that name was about. I don't have any more questions. I just want to say thank you again for Ken says his, but I can't thank you enough for all you do for us. Anytime after the baby's born, you got free time, you want to take a warrior fishing, all you got to do is just let me know. Ken's the director of warrior relations, so he'll probably be the one connecting you with the warrior. Between he and I, we'll get you connected. I still like staying connected too, but he's doing such a great job, but I don't want to interfere with that. But thank you all. Thank you, Tiffany. Congratulations. Good luck when you two have your firstborn, hopefully next week. Your life is about to change in the next week, so hopefully you can still enjoy the bait
Yes,
because
it
you're gonna have a
is.
lot of not free time anymore. But I mean, I've said thank you a lot. I can't thank you enough. Just from the bottom of my heart, from the warriors themselves. Thank you for everything. What you do is meaning something. And like I said, you're seeing the end result. That's the good thing about us. Everything is donated to us. It goes back 100% to the Warriors, either via a prize at one of the events. If it's monetary, we use that to help pay for an event, pay for a trip, whatever it is. It's 100% going back because everybody that is part of this organization is volunteer. Nobody gets paid. If anything, we all lose money because we put so much time, effort, and money of our own into it. And that's not a complaint. If we didn't want to do it, we wouldn't do it, and we couldn't do it without great people like you folks. So thank you for. I keep going on and on about thanking you. It's just I'm just so grateful for folks like you. So thank you. Glad to finally meet you where we can actually talk in person, not electronically. But I guess we still are talking electronically. But glad to finally meet you. Again, congratulations. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, guys. You have a good evening. We'll see you later, and we can't wait for to hear the news of the birth of your baby.
Oh,
Ken, I'll
hold
tell
on.
you first.
I do got one. I almost forgot. I was going to say it. So Ken kept mentioning something about this secret bait. Don't you have a secret bait you want to show that you've been working on for me? Do you have that close by?
I know it's not even. It's only up here and on the computer a
No, no,
little bit.
no.
Oh,
The
but is
one
it
you've
a
been showing me
secret
the
though?
pictures of.
These.
Yeah. So Ken, look at this. Look what he's making for us.
Can you see?
Oh, that's cool. Is that Cheerwine?
Sure.
Yeah.
It is.
That is
There's a
nice.
bunch of them.
So I worked with Cheerwine. They didn't. I told them what they were doing. I actually had the idea. I saw a picture. I was like, hey, Anthony, can you do this for me? Can you make a lure out of a Cheerwine can? He's like, you send it to me. I'll try it. So they don't sell Cheerwine where you live. So I'm like, they looked. They couldn't find it. So I was like, I don't know if I could ship it. It would probably explode everywhere. So I reached out to my contact in Cheerwine, said, hey, can you ship these up to Pennsylvania? This is why I just don't want them to blow up. They shipped it for free. They pay for the shipping, they pay for the cases of cheer wine. So the good thing is Anthony finally got to taste cheer wine. He's still got a lot left, and they're making lures for us. So it was a secret. Nobody knew but me and Anthony and Tiffany. So I'm excited to see those once he gets finished.
Nice. We got a little taste of North Carolina there too.
It was good.
That's right.
He was looking all over for it, and
We went to 3 stores the one day.
I told him, I said, I don't think we have it up here because I remember a couple years ago, one of my friends was from North Carolina, and he was looking for Sundrop up here, and we didn't have Sundrop up here.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we wound up getting Sundrop like a couple years later, but I'm telling him, I'm like, no, they have different things. Like
They had it.
They had
diet in glass bottles.
That's all.
You can't really break glass to make a lure.
No, it wouldn't work that great. I'd probably try though.
Cheerwine's since the beginning, one of our supporters. They provide all the drinks to all of our events. So I'm very close and fond of Cheerwine. So that's why I want to do this. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, I'll shut up now. If I keep talking, we're here all night.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we'll catch you. It was great having you on our podcast. And again, good luck with your creating your future family. And thank you for everything that you do for all the warriors. And most importantly, thank you for what you do for Take a Warrior Fishing.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for your service.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
All right,
thank
guys.
you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. So we all so let's talk about we got something coming up here, Dwayne. I believe it's the 21st through the 23rd of February, and that's at the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what booth we're in, but we'll be at it's the Carolina Boat and Fishing Show, I believe that's what it's called. Greensboro Coliseum. We'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think the hours are 10 to 8 on Friday, 9 to 8 on Saturday, and 10 to 5 on Sunday. But we'll have a booth there. We'll have a lot of our jerseys like we're wearing here. I actually got a new order of jerseys in this weekend. We've got some hats we'll have there, our cool hats, hooded shirts. But the main reason we're there is not to sell our stuff. It's just like we mentioned with this podcast, it's to get our name out, it's to connect with warriors, connect with boaters, and if we happen to connect with sponsors and donors, that's great. But the main objective is to raise awareness about Take a Warrior Fishing. And we had good success in Raleigh. Last year we went to Greensboro. It was the first time we'd ever set up at an expo. We had really good success. It's a smaller fishing event. It's more of a boating event, but we still did a good job there. So I'm expecting for us to do a pretty good job, and there's going to be boaters there. So pretty excited. We'll be having a sign-up genius here coming out probably tomorrow for any warrior or boater or volunteer that wants to help us, because we'll need help because it is 3 days, and that doesn't include setup and takedown. So looking forward to it. Y'all come out and see us.
All right, so let's talk real quick about the events that are happening for 2025. This is more for our viewers or someone that just like logged in to YouTube and they're like, "Hey, I heard about this. What is happening that are these big events? How does someone volunteer? How does a warrior sign up, or someone participate? How does someone become a boater?" Question is how, Wayne? How does this happen?
So to answer your first question, when we first started, we had one event. Then 25, we're having 4 events. Our first actual warrior fishing event is going to be on April 19th at Jordan Lake. It's a bass event. And then May 17th, we're having our first saltwater event, which I'm really excited in Beaufort, North Carolina. Let's see, September 27th, we're having a kayak event at the state largest American Legion hut in Fuquay Arena. And then November 1st, we're having our annual warrior fishing at Sharon Harris. And if you want to be a warrior, if you want to be a boater, or you want to be a volunteer, you actually go to all to the same place. You go to warriorfishing.org, go to contact, and submit your information there. You go to warriorfishing.org and go to events and sign up. And you can sign up as a boater, warrior, or volunteer.
Awesome. So also for viewers, we have a Facebook page, we have
Yep.
a Instagram, we have a TikTok, we have now a YouTube channel. So we have a slew of information that is getting out there. And in the description below in this podcast, you'll see all of our sponsors, you'll see all of our links to get to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, if you're already on YouTube, you know where it's at. All right, so guess what time it is? Guess what time it is, Dwayne?
Man, I'm gonna have to. I've been thinking all day, and I can't come up with one.
You
I'm
got
gonna
it's
tell
a
your
bad
bad. I'm gonna
it's
tell
a
your
bad
bad fish joke what you said last week.
nope,
And make it
nope,
bad to
nope.
something.
It's a bad fish joke time, and yeah, it's your turn there. So
Army's got them
what do we
saved today.
what's that?
I said the Army's got them saved today.
So what do we got?
I don't have one. That's what I'm saying. I need the Army to come save today. Let's see if I can find one right quick.
Oh my gravy. All right, here we go. So I was actually prepared for this because the Coast Guard has let us
I know
down
you
so
would.
much in the past.
I know.
So all right, so this is gonna be quirky, corny because it's bad. Okay. What do you call a fish with a bow tie?
With a bow tie,
With a bow tie. What do you call a fish with a bow tie?
uh, a bowfish.
Sophisticated. Hey, you
All right,
got
I'll
it
tell you
last
what.
minute.
Hey, hey, not
Who's there?
a Cyrillus.
The gorilla?
A Cyrillus.
What's that?
You should say Cyrillus too. Oh, hold on.
Cirilla who?
I have some doggies in the background. I don't know. It was bad. I can't even finish it. It's so bad.
That's all good. All right, so real quick, we got the bad fish joke out of the way. We had our special guest on from Lazy Baits Company, a proud sponsor for Take a Warrior Fishing. We've got some events popping up. One this month is going to be in Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, and it's going to be a great expo that we're going to be at, pushing out all this information. Well, we've had some Warriors go out this past weekend and had a great time. We got a Warrior going out tomorrow. I mean, this is just 2025. The wheels are turning. Things are getting bigger. Things are getting better. So real quick, sponsor shout out. So we got Dwayne.
So actually, we just got one today that I definitely want to do a shout out for, and it's very honored to have this one. It's another nonprofit. It's called Hannah's Heroes of North Carolina. They called today. They saw us, like what we do, and the little short version. Paul is the founder, I believe, and his daughter passed away, and Hannah. So if I understand correctly, what they do is they go around and have families that have lost a loved one, specifically a child, and they like what we do, so they wanted to partner with us. Initially, they talked about taking a paying to take a warrior fishing, but then they said, you know what, we just want to sponsor you and help you get it out. So thank you, Hannah's Heroes of North Carolina. But we got our main sponsors, my other sponsors. We got eazybait&tackle out of Goldsboro. We got North Carolina National Guard, who's been with us since the beginning. State Farm, Josh Benton Agency, Cedar Spence out of Fayetteville with Ashley. We got Southern Harvest that provides our catering at our big event. Great food. Cosmotology out of Nightdale does all of our designs. Has done the graphic in the back behind Ken. That's one of their graphics. Leaving somebody out. Deep Creek Lures out of Dunn that provides some lures for us. Black Ops Tackle, another North Carolina tackle shop. Lazy Baits isn't really a type of sponsor for, but they do so much. I always got to give a shout out to Anthony and Lazy Baits. And there's so many more that have donated to us. And a lot of them don't even want the recognition. They just do it to help us get the Warriors out. But thank you for everybody. If you want to see more about our sponsors, you can go on our webpage to the sponsor link and see more about them. We're very fortunate for the sponsors that we do have.
And that information can be found at www.warriorfishing.org. Well, hey, we're going to end this podcast for today. We can only get
Oh,
bigger and better. Oh, one more.
I
What
forgot.
you got?
I forgot. Sorry, I can't realize it's Topwater Company. Topwater Company lures that has the little technique to help you switch your baits out real quick. Sorry about that.
Kind of like a quick release. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so
Yeah.
again, all this information can be found at www.warriorfishing.org. And hey, we got merch. We got these awesome hats. We got our awesome jerseys that we got on. We got awesome fishing shirts. Again, if you come out to the expo that we're going to be at in Greensboro, that stuff will be there. And it's all going to support taking a warrior onto the water, either on the boat, inshore, offshore, on the coast, whatever, on the beach. They're having a good time. So hey, from us to you, thank you. For those who are about to fish, we salute you.